Let's just redefine perfect. 83.5% completion percentage as a quarterback in his last 4 games. No quarterback has ever done that before. It's pretty great. But is it perfect? I don't know, Peter. I guess you could have some decisions back. The Lions won.
You've got to be really feeling yourself when you have that game. Like, is it really perfect? I mean, perfect is such a nebulous word.
By definition, it was perfect, but it could be a better version of perfect.
Better version of perfect.
Exactly. I mean, so humble, right?
Yeah,
so humble.
He's feeling himself, and he should be. We hyped up this Ben Johnson, Brian Flores coordinator matchup all week because Brian Flores brings the most pressure in the league and is one of these blitz-heavy guys. The number that really stood out for me was that the Vikings blitzed Jared Goff 55% of the times on his dropbacks, and he went 13 of 15. So that means he stood there in the pocket and handled the pressure. And then when they needed him most, and he's done this throughout his career. I know people are like, Jared Goff, is he that guy? Jared Goff has gone into visiting stadiums. He went in an NFC Championship game and beat Drew Brees in the Super Bowl. Like, he's done it. Yeah. He went into Seattle with basically 9 fingers and beat Russell Wilson in a playoff game. He's done it. But last night, it was one of those deals where he's got to go the distance. They're down a point, and of course, Jared Goff on that final drive, it's just precision. And it's surgery what it is, because it's the dump off here to Gibbs and let him do his thing after the catch. And then you get the big one here in the play action, which really was what got them into field goal range. The big pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown when they needed it most. A couple runs, and then they set up the Bates field goal, which we'll get to in a second. But Goff is not going to wow you in a press conference. He's not going to be on the cover of every video game or magazine. And we already start in our heads to be like, all right, well, that's Goff. But they've got such a good pair of running backs. We got a nickname for them. We got all these talented wide receivers. And Amon-Ra St. Brown was on the wide receiver show, so we know he's a huge personality. Oh, and Ben Johnson's the best. Let's just give Jared Goff his due. He was 22 of 25, and he was 13 of 15 when the best defensive coordinator in the league was sending everyone yesterday. I have to say, Jared Goff got the job done, did it in enemy territory. Lions are in first place in the NFC North. Today should be Jared Goff talk.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say Jared Goff Day. Like, oh, wow, we got a day now?
But the Goff pod is not coming, though. You don't think?
I don't think so.
You don't think Goff
He's
pod?
not a pod
I don't
guy.
think the pod, no.
guy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, get the ring light. No.
No.
Jared Goff, man, I just love the story, man. I keep talking about it, but I even said last week, I was just saying, like, the success of this team going up against a very strong Minnesota Vikings defense was going to come down to the execution of that play action, which they do so well. I love the way Jared Goff was just sitting there and picking apart the pressure. They're looking at it, and the way Coach Johnson also schemed it as well. I mean, he schemed it. I remember there one play, he took a shot down to Amon-Ra St. Brown right there, and they brought a motion player to block Van Ginkel coming off, bringing off pressure. They were doing different ways, but he stayed calm in the pocket. There was another one I really loved watching this game and just seeing Jared in there, and he's got heat all around him, like fire. He's surrounded by fire, and you got a guy coming down to try to take the ball. He just, keeps his eye down the field and just picks apart the defense. I think, when you see a quarterback like this and you see him playing like that, it gives everybody around confidence. Defensively, they were playing like dogs. I mean, it was just all over the place. I loved it.
It was a fantastic game. It was an unbelievably even game. That's why Darnold afterwards, I don't know, we're confident in ourselves. Of course, they played great. They were completely evenly matched. It's a long time from now, and a lot could happen. But I'm sitting there watching that game. I'm like, this is the NFC title game. Like, this is it. These are the two teams I like the most in the NFC, and due respect to the Packers and some others. But just look at this. This is a fun exercise.
Okay.
Look at this, how this game matches up numerically. Just from the top to bottom. The time of possession, dead. Passing yards, dead. Rushing yards, 5 off. Penalties, 8 for 49, 8 for 59. Turnovers, 1, sacks, 4. These two guys are perfect for each other.
Wow.
They really, really are. There's an interesting thing that Brian Flores has now coordinated 23 games for that team. He's given up 30 points 4 times in the 23. 3 of them are to the Lions.
Wow.
So it's like, we love Flores, and Peter's laying out the pressure, and I know that's his brand, and I know he's intimidating, and he's cool, and you root for him, and a lot of teams just completely buckle under it. We're starting to get into it like a Lions have his number type thing.
Yeah.
And 3 times and he had gotten 30. They got 30 again. Ben Johnson was awesome. Goff was awesome. I don't think we're giving enough time to him being like, well, I know I was perfect to start. It was, what it was like? Someone who hits like 20 shots in a row on the basketball court, but there's like a couple of them hit the rim, though.
Yeah.
Like, they should be perfect swishes. When we're exploring the definition of perfect, we've gone crazy places with Jared Goff. No one in the league is playing better than him. And I know now, like, I see the MVP talk is starting, and it should, because they're in the conversation for best team in the league, and I just don't see anybody in any position playing better than him. And the numbers back it up, too. He's absolutely unconscious.
It does teeter on humility and kind of endearing when Jared Goff does it. Let's also keep in mind that the Lions were able to do this and get after a Vikings offense and, frankly, hang with them and come back in a way without Aiden Hutchinson, which we always talked about emotionally last week. Like, could have been a huge deal. Like, they could have fell flat. They had to go to Minnesota because the next time these two teams play, it'll be next year. It's 2025.
The schedule is weird. It's the last week of the season.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they could potentially play in the next round, that round of the playoffs. It's crazy.
On the Viking side of things, though, just real quick, the fact that they had been up entire season in sub 3.5 minutes. Kevin O'Connell, a couple weeks back, he was saying, like, if I could run a team and throw 50 times a game, like, that's the kind of party he wants to go to. He's a quarterback. He wants to have a passing offense, but he knew that he had to bring physicality to this roster this year. I think they did. The defense looks great. Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel, to get them for the price of Danielle Hunter to the Texans, like, the defense, this is so great. This game, I could not stop watching it. It was flawless.
It was great. Yeah. I don't have, like, spicy takes on the Vikings. They were going to lose eventually. They were going to go undefeated.
Jefferson was amazing.
Yeah, they were really good.
Played. I don't know if he was going to play. He played. It was great. Like, the Vikings are a playoff team. They're good.
I think it's interesting that we're saying all these numbers back up that Goff has never played better and he's the best player in the league. Meanwhile, like, Mahomes has never played worse in his life numerically. Like, he's playing terrible. And they're undefeated. And they just win. The Chiefs are fascinating right now. We'll get into them. But that could be the Super Bowl matchup. We don't know.